and today we are gonna go look at the new 2023 Kawasaki Ninja ZX4RR. So right off the bat, the bike looks Yo, what is up guys, it's me Rebel Ray Moto, and today we are gonna go look at the new 2023 Kawasaki Ninja ZX4RR. So right off the bat, the bike looks pretty good. I've seen the Ninja ZX-4RR, so they do look really similar. From looking at it, it does look identical. I think that the ZX4RR just has the dual front disc versus the ZX-4RR. I think it's just a single disc. So this bike features a 399cc inline 4-cylinder dock engine. All the things that everyone's probably already looked up online and that you guys probably already know. A ram air duct intake system, new inspired chassis, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Kawasaki quick shifter, and there's traction control. So it's got new suspension, assist and slipper clutch, dual front disc brakes. So that's the one that we were talking about, whereas the ZX-4RR only has a single. This one has a dual. It's got integrated riding modes, power mode selection, TFT control instrument. The 2020 and up Ninja 650 did have the TFT. For the ZX6R, I think the new ones have the TFT instrument, but I think the older models still does not have the TFT instrument. So it's got the smartphone connectivity, Rideology, the app, and all the lights are LED right now. And right now I think they're just releasing the KRT edition. For the new electronics, you do get the sport mode, which enables riders to enjoy sporty riding. The road mode covers a wide range of situations, from city riding to cruising to rural roads. It's got rain modes, and then I believe it's got rider modes, it says here, where you could set your own settings manually. That's going to be the rider settings, so that's going to be on you. It's probably like custom settings. 3 videos that I've seen where there are moto vloggers in Kawasaki, Chile that went over to the Kawasaki dealership, because I think in Kawasaki, Chile, they already have the ZX4RR displayed. So it's pretty cool seeing that, because I think one of the videos they had someone go and turn the bike on, and it does sound good. It's still on stock exhaust, but you know, once you put on the aftermarket slip-on, then it's gonna sound good. If you haven't seen any videos of the ZX-4RR on YouTube, feel free to check that out, because that's a 250cc inline 4, and there's a lot of videos online in Asia where they do a sound check of that bike, and it does sound like a 600. It's just not as quick, but you know, it sounds like a 600. I've seen a lot of videos online, and I know that there's a lot of mixed reviews on it, especially because of pricing. It's at $9,699, and I think that's because right now Kawasaki's releasing the RR edition, the race replica, and there were a lot of comments online. Maybe it should have been 6 or 7 or 8 grand, and it makes more sense. And I do believe that they will be releasing it at that price point, but I think it's probably going to be the ZX4R SE edition, and then there's the base model ZX4R base model edition, which not many people are talking about it yet. But for the people that are talking about how it's nearly this price, I'm pretty sure that Kawasaki is going to be releasing the base model at a lower price. So that's the one that I think it's missing from the reviews that I've seen online. I know that there are a lot of reviews that are comparing numbers, which makes sense because the bike's not out yet, and where it doesn't make sense why Kawasaki did this. Why get this when the ZX6R isn't too far along the way? But the thing is that I noticed is most of the reviews I've seen online, riders have been probably riding track already. I feel like this is the bike where it just falls in between, because there's people that get the Ninja 400cc just to start off, but then they don't want to jump onto a 600cc super sport yet. And then there are those riders that even get the Ninja 650 because it sort of falls in between the Ninja 400 and then the ZX6R. But then the ZX4RR, I feel like, falls in between the ZX6 and the Ninja 650 because it's got a little bit more power. There has been a couple talk on why not get the R7, why not get the ZX6R, and I feel like that's just like comparing numbers, because in the end I feel like it's all about the feeling of the ride. There are different types of riders out there, and what I mean is like what could feel good for someone sitting on an R7 or a ZX6R might not be the same for all the other riders. Looking at the ZX6R, it does look like there's a lot of weight on your wrist. Looking at the ride triangle, again, this is just basing it off looking at the photos online, but it does look like the ZX4RR does not have the same ride triangle as the ZX6R. The ZX4RR looks more comfortable. It looks like it's got a little bit of higher handlebar. I think it's a little bit more comfortable. And then there's a couple of talks on why not get the R7, whereas the ZX4RR is sitting at 31.5 inches and the Yamaha R7 is at 32.9 inch. So I think that's where you can compare numbers, but in the end it's all on how you feel about the bike. I do want to sit down on the ZX6R, and then I do want to sit down on the ZX4RR to see if there's any difference, because there's a couple of comments out there saying that this is just like a mini 600, this and that, but I feel like the ride experience, sitting down on one, getting to ride on one, the comfort level, ride triangle, ergonomics, those will play a big difference into whoever's gonna be buying the bike or riding the bike. I'm pretty sure if it's like the track riders, it's, you know, full on 636, because you're gonna be tracking it, you got the aggressive stance. One comment that I do agree on is that there is a place in the market for this. To me personally, I think the bike is great. People do talk about like it could be lighter, you know, shave off some weight, but we never know, you know. I mean, once we do get to sit on one, who knows, the weight might play a good factor for the size of this bike. Then again, you don't want something that's too light. I mean, who knows, you know, for those who are wanting to like really shaved off weight, doing time attacks, maybe they really want something super light. I do have to agree that the price is a lot, but again, this is me saying that I think it's because they're just releasing the RR trim first, whereas I feel like when they do release the base model, there's going to be a cheaper version. I don't know how the insurance is going to play in the factor, whether it's a smaller displacement engine, but you know, all in all, the bike looks great. One thing I didn't really hear much of is ergonomics. I think the ZX4RR is going to be more of a comfortable ride, and it's not as aggressive as a Super Sport. Also, I think the seat height plays in a good factor for the short riders. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below about this bike. What do you guys think? If you're a Ninja 400cc rider and you know you're gonna be upgrading to the ZX4R, if you're a Ninja 650 rider and you're going to be keeping your Ninja 650 or upgrading it, R7 riders or any other bikes that compare to this, I think it's gonna be like a little baby brother of the 600cc's. So yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. So alright, just want to give a real quick shout out to some of the reviews that I've seen online, which were great. Huge shout out to Jalmoto. That was a pretty good review. First time look. Wanted to give a shout out to Adobo Moto. So it was a pretty cool comparison, and you know, I get the numbers, and it was cool how you're explaining that you're not too far from a ZX6R. And then I wanted to give a huge shout out to Hero RR. If you haven't seen his video, Hero RR does a really good breakdown onto why an inline 400cc does cost so much. It's because he gives a whole breakdown about if you were to get a Ninja 400cc and then you're to start taking out the parts and start putting on parts that the ZX4RR has, over time you do start spending more than how much the ZX4RR does cost. So that's a pretty good breakdown and a pretty good video to watch. He explains it so good. And also huge shout out to one of the motor vloggers that I met online. He's based off Seattle, Ninja 400cc rider, but he does own a CBR2. His YouTube channel is X, they call me GX. So huge shout out to you. looks like it's a pretty exciting bike. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to sit on one. You know, we'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. You know, I just wanted to cover this bike real quick because I think it's fun. It's exciting. First inline 4 until it's been a while since there was a 400 inline 4. Building bikes in every displacement class. So you know, we'll see how this turns out. But yeah, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please feel free to hit that like, share, subscribe, and you know, hopefully get to do more reviews on this. If you have any comments, just leave them down below, and I'll see you guys next time. So later.
You always hit me on my line, baby. I was thinking about you all day lately. You got me feeling so damn wavy. Take a couple pulls of you daily. You're never all alone, alone. You're never all alone, alone, alone. You're never all alone, alone. Yeah. It's a cold blue night in the winter. I'm warming next to you, let it simmer. I got it all planned like dinner.